How's it going, everyone? So I wanted to essentially bring you my iPhone 5 review. This is purely going to be an opinion-based review. I have some notes on my computer, just some very simple bullet points which I want to cover, and I'm going to give you my opinion, my honest opinion on the device. I'm not going to go into specs. There are tons of those reviews on YouTube. You can go and check them out. There's, loads out there. So what I'm going to cover off is I'm going to cover off the design, the battery life, the iOS 6, so the software that it's running, the camera, and then the upgradability in my opinion, how whether or not you should upgrade. Just before I start this review, I'm going to mention that I have an iPhone 5 playlist where I've covered lots of the features, so if you want to go and check out the new features of the iPhone, this is going to be an overview, but I did more in-depth looks at some of the features of the new iPhone, so you can click this playlist up here and that will take you to that link. So again, click it. So basically, let's start with the design. The design of the iPhone is incredible. I absolutely love the design. The hardware itself, you can't knock it. Apple definitely know how to build a smartphone and make it perfect at that. I mean, the iPhone 4S design was beautiful, and I don't think anyone was knocking that, but they've really refined it with the two-tone back panel, and they've just, improved all of the little features in the 4S, which was good, and taken away the bad points like the headphone jack on the top and things like that nature. They've just refined and improved the design to make sure that it's top notch, and again, the hardware, you really can't be knocked compared to things like the Galaxy S3. I'm not knocking it. It's a brilliant smartphone, but plastic compared to glass and aluminium. Apart from the little scratching problem which has been surfacing, the hardware is brilliant, and if you go with the white model, you're not really going to have that issue too much. The 4-inch display also on the iPhone 5 is a massive upgrade, and the extra real estate on the screen really helps without losing, that comfort feeling in your hand with the 3.5-inch screen. Next is the battery life. With the battery, I feel like it's good. I had an iPhone 4 before, so I didn't have the 4S, and I know the 4S battery was apparently abysmal. But with the 4 to the 4S, it's around about the same, which is, a huge plus for a phone which is significantly quicker. And I say quicker because it is a lot quicker than the 4. Very snappy phone, absolutely brilliant speeds, actually benchmarks higher than the GS3, so, good standpoint on that. And for a phone which has that speed and that processing power, it's incredible that the battery lasts easily a full day with not excessive use. Even with gaming, with the screen brightness turned down a little bit, and because of the vibrance that this screen has, it's just brilliant that, that feature is there, and very good battery life, and I was very impressed with it. With the software that the phone is running, it's running iOS 6, and a lot of people are bored of it. Me personally, I love iOS. It's my go-to operating system. I've tried Android, and I have actually also tried Windows Phone, but things with the applications, and also just the fact that iOS just works. I want to do something quickly, it works for me. Android, there's things which, again, I'm not bashing Android. Android's a brilliant operating system, but something that I just want to go to quickly and just be able to use my phone as a phone and as a web, mobile browser, whatever, it just works for me personally, and I just love it. And again, iOS 6 is a nice upgrade, and with the iPhone 5 in collaboration with with the iOS 6, the software and the hardware work seamlessly together. But again, if you're bored of iOS, probably not the phone you're going to be wanting to go for, as it does ship running iOS 6. The next thing I want to talk about is the camera. The camera is fantastic. The low light performance is just brilliant. They've taken all of the features of the iPhone 4S's camera, which was already a brilliant camera. Basically, it's the same sensor and it's all of kind of the same specifications, but they've replaced the lens, they've improved the low light performance, the aperture is better. So, it's just an all-round upgrade for the camera. And again, it takes on this notion that they've got the base with the iPhone 4S. It's not a big enough jump, a huge jump from that, but they're refining it and making it better, and for that, a big plus from me. So what it comes down to is, should you upgrade? Now, if you have the iPhone 4S, I would say not an essential upgrade. If you want the hardware, because the hardware is beautiful, and it's a huge thing with this, you can get iOS 6 on the iPhone 4S, which means essentially the only new thing here is the hardware. So if you are one of these people that want the next best thing, I would say, hands down, get the phone. But if you're someone who is quite happy with the 4S, and again, when the new iPhone comes out, it doesn't make the last one worse. It is still a very good, capable device, the 4S. However, if you're running from an iPhone 3GS or an iPhone 4, I would say this is a must. If you want to upgrade to an iPhone, at least, it's definitely a must. It's one of the best smartphones out there. Again, I haven't tried, every smartphone, but it's definitely one of the best. It's so light, it just feels high quality, and I know that I say that about all Apple products. I'll probably get labelled as a fanboy. I'm a massive fanboy, I don't care. I just like the way iOS works, and the iPhone 5 is definitely a worthy upgrade for the iPhone platform, and one which I'm very happy to recommend to you guys. So guys, that pretty much wraps up this review. It was just my general thoughts about the upgradability that the iPhone 5 has. It's again not spec based, this is purely opinion based and what I think is best for my viewers. And if you're into specs, I'll maybe, recommend some on my social networks. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, it really does help me out. Also subscribe, also favourite it if you really enjoyed it, that would be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll catch you in the next one. This has been Tom with Jailbreak Nation.